There we go. We're live. We are live. Cool. It's a bit too bluesy. So let's see. Yikes. So last week I started this chat by sort of trying to sort out my sound, and that's exactly how I'm going to continue, is just sorting out my sound, because I'm still not happy with it and I haven't had a chance to really mess around with it this week. Yeah, if anyone's going to join, that'd be great. Please put some comments in. We were talking about power chords in the last lesson, last Monday night hang, and specifically we're talking about open power chords. So that kind of stuff. But before I get into this, I'm gonna actually sort my sound out because it's really bothering me. Now this time I've actually got the PDF open somewhere here it is, for the manual with all the settings in it. Okay, so I can figure out what I'm doing. So while I'm doing that, I'm going to sort of tab between, see if anyone's here. Not yet. Okay, cool. That's okay. So what am I going for? I'm going to set this one up so that I have got, what's ND? ND is MS drive, scan high, ND, Marshall drive, right? Okay, if I swap this. BC, big crunch, yeah, okay. EV. Okay, I like the PV. Let's do that. Got anyone in the feed yet? No, okay. Right, so now I want to do some emulation, extra cab. Right, okay, let's go to extra cab, which is extra cab, extra EQ. So this module allows the 3 remaining bands of the 6-band EQ. It contains a cabinet simulator that produces sound suitable for a direct recording or reproduction via headphones or a studio monitor. Yeah, okay. ET adjusts the 3 remaining bands of the 6 low mid. Okay. Cabinet mic CB. This effect simulates amplifier cabinet sound. Right, that's what I want. CB. Okay. All right. Let's go with that. Now I'm getting the hang of it. So I think that's stored. Cool. Now I'm going to check something else. ET. What about? Yeah. Cool. Okay. Right. I'm a bit happier with my sound. It's still not perfect, but we'll go with that. So nobody in the chat tonight yet. That's okay. I am quite happy to just do a live lesson and then edit it as you do. So let's talk about power chords. So last week I was really looking at the open power chords, and that's where you're taking two notes okay, and so in this case I'm playing an E power chord. So what I'm using is the open E, and then I'm using the second fret on the A string to play the fifth note of the scale. So there's my shape. Now this is really easy because then you can move it up to the A, and then you can move it up to the D. So how do I know which is which? Well, I'm always thinking about the root note being the one above the actual note I'm playing. So I'm playing a low E, so I'm playing E5 or E power chord. This time I've moved it up, and now I'm playing the A, and now the D. So the reference that I used last week was Rock and Roll by Led Zeppelin. So the cool thing about this particular shape, this open power chord, is that you have all your fingers free apart from your first finger. So that allows you to do all that kind of stuff, which is great, right? Because then you can add so much more to your rock riffing and just get that extra stuff out of it. Another thing about this open thing is that when you're adding this note, you're adding the sixth of the scale, and then your pinky's going to add the flat 7. So that really ties into like rock blues kind of stuff, specifically the blues, because you're playing the 5, then your 6 is really a bluesy note, even though people think of the flat 5 as your blues note, and that is, in the scale, the blues scale, you've got your flat 5 note, but really if you think about the 6th note, then that is let me demonstrate something. I'm going to use my clean sound for this so we can hear it better. So I'm going to play a G, there's my 6. So 1, 3, 5, 6, and then the root. Okay, so if I play that, this is a G major 6 arpeggio. Anyone recognize that? Of course, it's the blues bass line, right? So you just move that around, and so on. So what you're playing there is you're playing the major 6 arpeggio. So what is that? That's the 1, that's the 3, it's the 5, and it's the 6, and then the root on the top, or the octave, I should say. So what's going on there is that you're basically playing that arpeggio, and that is when a bass player is playing that kind of riff, that kind of rockabilly thing. That's what they're doing. They're playing a major 6 arpeggio. So you end up with this, this specific sound. So that 6th sound really is infused in our brains as part of the blues, And then, of course, the next thing that you're playing, flat 7. Flat 7, of course, is part of the dominant chord. So when you look at how blues especially is harmonized, quite often we're using, A7, E7, D7 to play the blues. So let's get some distortion. Oops. So that's really that flat 7 sound right there that I'm using. So that's basically just quickly covering some of the stuff that we worked on or looked at last week. When you're playing rock guitar, not only do you need to know that stuff, and the reason I covered that is because it's reasonably easy to learn and utilize pretty quickly. And as I say, one of the first things that I kind of used or worked on with that was Rock and Roll by Led Zeppelin. But you also need to really know these shapes here, right? That is the basic power chord shape, root and fifth. So it's the same thing as what I was playing down here, except that instead of playing, if I move this note here down one more fret, then obviously my first finger falls off the edge of the guitar. So that's why, you're playing it like that. So you still have the same shape. If you think about it, if you move this up one fret, you then put your first finger on. The cool thing about this shape, and in fact all chords on the guitar, is that you can, once you learn a particular shape, you can slide it around the neck and basically do whatever you want with it. So, and that's great. That makes the guitar a lot easier to play than, say, something like a piano. I mean, they both have their challenges, and they're both beautiful instruments in their own way. But one of the things that we have as guitarists is that little bit of ease in terms of being able to just take a chord shape and move it up the neck, and the shape stays the same, and the tonality and the characteristics of the chords stay the same, but you're just moving through different keys. So, for example, if I play the power chord here, and then move it up 2 frets. So nothing's really changed except for the key, right? So I'm playing a C power chord, a C5 chord. Move it up 2 frets. It's a D power chord. So what's happened is that I'm basically just sitting on, one shape, move it up, same shape, different chord, same shape. Characteristically in tone, in terms of tone and everything, it's the same. It's the root, it's the 5. So it's a pretty simple chord to get. And the other thing about this particular shape that you really want to work on is that it's just classic in every sense in terms of usage. So let's have a look at some tunes that you would use this in. I think the most obvious one really is Rock You Like a Hurricane. So Rock You Like a Hurricane, simple power chord shape, moving it up and down the neck and all over the place. I'm trying to think of what others. Master Puppets. So there's 2 ways to play Master Puppets. One right and the other one wrong, maybe? I don't know. But let's see if I can remember it. Okay, so there's that bit, right? Now, so it's basically kind of doing that. I know that's not exact, but... So when you're playing that, now there's arguments about how you should play it. Now, I learned Master Puppets from Guitar for the Practicing Musician magazine back in, 86, 87, whenever Master Puppets came out. And I'm going to turn up my mic a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There we go. And it was tabbed like this. So with the power chords on string 5. But I've heard and even seen transcriptions where it was all done basically on this on this string here. So there you go, Master of Puppets, 2 different ways. Is one of them right and one of them wrong? I don't know. Leave a comment and let me know which one you think is the right one or prefer to do. But the point is that to play that, you need to have the power chord shape, any Metallica song. Let's check out some other Metallica stuff, actually, because, they're just awesome. I'm going to dive into ultimateguitar.com. Ultimate Guitar. Actually, I have it saved. What should we do on Ultimate Guitar? I want to do early Metallica, so maybe Ride the Lightning or something. Let's just look up Metallica. Metallica. Okay. And then they have all the stuff. Nothing else matters. Oh my goodness. 500 versions. Honestly, that's like 2 pages of just nothing else matters. I guess it's their most popular song. Enter Sandman, yeah, not early enough. 1, still not early enough. I should have just, what do I think of it? There's Master Puppets. Cool. Let's do something off Ride the Lightning. Fade to Black, yeah, that's on Ride the Lightning, but it's kind of slow. Unforgiven. I'm trying to think what is on Ride the Lightning. Let me go into Spotify. Yikes. Spotify, where is Spotify? Is anyone even watching? Who knows? Nah, that's okay. Just didn't want to ignore my subscribers. Spotify. So you'd think I'd have it a bit more together. Okay. Ride the Lightning remastered. Here it is. Okay. Fire with fire. Ride the Lightning. Yeah, let's do Ride the Lightning. Down. Metallica, Ride the Lightning. Okay. Right, they're not using power chords. What are they using? Okay, that wrong bit. Yeah, here we go. Power chords. Okay, there we go. So back onto the live streaming. Cool. Okay, so if we look at not the intro to Ride the Lightning, but the sort of main riff from Ride the Lightning, you basically have this happening. So that is your power chord shape right there. Turning down everything. look at the next bit because I like the next bit. I can't remember how it goes. Da 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 da. Aha. Yeah, okay. Okay, so all of that section. Right, so go back to the live stream. I can't do two things at once. So this is using a combination of both the fretted power chords further up the neck and the open ones. So 2 and 4. So 2nd fret, 4th fret, then open E with the 2nd fret on the A string, then back to the 1st chord. Now I'm using an A5 power chord with the open A and the 5th. Back to the 2nd fret and the 4th fret, which by the way is F sharp. So you hear me calling it F sharp from here on in. And then to C, 3rd fret, 5th string, 5th fret, 4th string. Sorry. So yeah, there you go. There's your power chords in the Metallica. Somebody's come in and is cutting about. I don't know. My daughter seems to feel like she needs the door open, making lots of noise. That's okay. That's life, isn't it? That's how things go. Brushing her teeth. Good idea. Okay. Really, to sort of sum it up, this particular shape is super important. Now, this shape has got me in and out of lots of sticky situations. When I was like 17, I played in a jazz band, and this jazz band was sort of big band stuff. It was pretty hardcore. So I had to like think on my feet really quickly because I really didn't know any of the jazz chords at all. It wasn't my forte at the time. Sorry about all the background noise. So anyway, it wasn't really my forte at the time doing that kind of stuff. And so because I didn't know a lot of the chords, I had to sort of come up with versions that were, really quick sort of versions of it. And basically power chords helped because there's no third. So it's not a major or a minor chord. It's just one of those things that you can do either way. Sorry, Heidi, does this door need to be open? Because all I can hear is you brushing your teeth. Can you give me like 5 minutes? Okay. Is there any? Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Thank you. Yeah. Anyway, so So yeah, apologies for all that, but that's what happens in life. People have to live their lives. So yes, I was in the jazz band trying to get to grips with all these chords. I didn't really know them that well, so what I ended up doing was just playing power chords instead, because they weren't going to really intrude upon one thing or the other. They weren't really going to be like major or minor, so they weren't going to clash. So for example, if I had like I'm going to turn my distortion off for a second here. So if we had like an A13, I didn't really know that chord. There's a lot of stuff going on in there. So I just literally play that, which doesn't really sound the same, but keeping in mind that at the time I was in a band with like piano player, 12 horns all blasting stuff out, so it kind of didn't matter that all the subtleties weren't quite there, but obviously I would suggest that you learn all of those chords. I have now done that since I was 17, learned at least a version or two of every chord you can play, and I practice my chords daily actually. So it's good fun, and I recommend doing that. But really, the starting point, especially for rock guitar, is make sure that you can play that basic power chord shape, because you can use it all over the place. It's just so useful, and really, that's the main chord for playing like rock stuff. It really is. So let's get back to the distortion. So yeah, that's basically it for. I'll do a little bit more, a few more minutes or whatever. I might even just do some soloing and muck around for the last minute. Does anyone have any suggestions for songs they want to work on or specific techniques? That's fine. I'm really open to suggestions. I'd really love for you guys to clue me up with whatever you want to work on. But really, let's work on let's get those chords down. I'm trying to think of specific examples of stuff I can do, but I think I'm just going to spend the next couple of minutes just playing out with some soloing. Do Bach's Partita or something. I can't do the thing. On this Kramer, I have a little kill. It's not a kill switch, it's a pickup selector. Obviously, on a Les Paul, you can turn one of the pickups off and do the tick, 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 kind of Ace Frehley thing, which I was trying to do right there, and it didn't work. Never mind. Anyway, we've got 30 seconds left. What should we do? Okay, guys, thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next week, I think. Or no, not next week. Following week. Next week I've got something else going on. Okay, bye for now.